Bob speaking.
If Bob is graphic swinging again.
So am I hosting? So I'll mute
No,
Bob.
I just,
I mute everybody. You got to stay on this because that's going to be a problem.
well, no, I just gave you hosting abilities,
No, Eddie
and
has it.
Eddie also has
I don't
co-host.
have it.
Oh, I meant to
Just
give
you
it.
and Eddie.
Oh, just me, Eddie, you don't want
Eddie.
it?
Okay.
Okay. So Eddie's, I told Eddie, he's on board.
Who's Knox McLaughlin?
That's Stephania
Oh,
McLaughlin.
she had a baby, right? She did.
I don't think she has the little munchkin yet.
And she's been pregnant for like 2 years.
Oh.
She had a baby.
No, she didn't have a baby yet.
She's nice.
Any day though.
I
Any
like
day.
her. She's nice.
I told you, yeah.
She used to always be here with the group after school, doing projects in here.
Mm-hmm.
They would always get me and say, "You want a slice of pizza?"
Oh, see, yep, see.
Back when I was on my no carb kick, I was like, "No, now I eat a whole pizza." But
I
back
mean,
then,
and a very good asset to the district. You know what I mean? So yeah, she is. I don't see any of the board members on here yet.
more people on here now. That's kind of cool.
I know.
Because it's so much easier to meeting.
Everything. Oh, somebody's tapping. Oh. They sent it to the wrong person. Jamie's. Gives the okay. So you now gotta wait for Jamie to call it to order.
Angel, did you get an answer yet?
Yeah, I did.
Don't trip this time. I know, I'm saving you. You fell before we
No.
ran out like that. Cord was wrapped around his leg.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, Steve, stop, Steve, stop. I saw he got like 4 or 5 feet out right to the podium. And everything just fell off the podium. I jumped up and picked everything back up. He was just,
Did he get
fall
hurt?
down.
Did he get hurt?
He didn't get hurt.
Oh.
He put everything back together again. He was lapped up.
I know.
It's just me and him here. We were running around, setting all this stuff. Right, correct.
Okay, is everyone on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess if you weren't really,
Hi, Mike.
you wouldn't answer. All right.
Hi, Terry.
Whoever's not here, raise your hand. And it's,
Terry.
all right. All right, Jamie's up.
I am. I think we're all. I think the members are all on. So, that being the case, I will call to order this agenda-setting meeting for the Woodland Hills School Board for the month of August 2020. Ms. Hoffman, will you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Graves,
Present.
Miss Ellickson, Miss Lawson,
I think they may be having a problem getting off mute.
okay.
So hold on. Eddie, can you unmute the board members only?
Yes, sir. I believe Miss Lawson may be on via her phone. I wanted to confirm that.
She's on her phone. She's 4640. She's unmuted. Can you unmute the board members?
Yes. I'm
Yes,
muted.
sir.
Okay. Miss Curry,
Here.
Mr. Belmont,
Here.
Miss Scott, here, Miss Hodge,
Here.
Miss Ellickson?
She's here, but she's muted.
She's here, okay. Miss Glasser?
Present. Please,
I'm present too.
thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
Indivisible, with liberty
and justice.
and justice for all.
Thank you. I am not yet seeing the agenda on the screen. Give me 1 second to pull out board docs. Apologies.
Right here.
Okay. All right. Fortunately, this month there's no need for a moment of silence. At next week's meeting, we will accept the legislative and special meeting minutes from July. Are there any additions, corrections, or questions about the minutes at this point? Okay, hearing none. I will report that the board met in executive session on July 28th and immediately preceding this meeting to discuss personnel, legal, and school safety matters as permitted by law. Mr. Harris, do you have announcements?
Yes, I have a few. Okay, want to announce that the Woodland Hills Foundation Alumni Network is up and running. If you are an alum, current staff, faculty, student, parent of students, community leaders, business owners, or anyone else who identifies themselves as part of the Woodland Hills Village, please consider joining the Woodland Hills Foundation Alumni Network. You can see the link on our homepage. You'll see under news and Woodland Hills Foundation Alumni Network, and there's a link and you can join. The Woodland Hills School District has canceled our Community Day. Every year we look forward to connecting with our Woodland Hills families to share information and engage in activities with the students, staff, and community. However, given the growing concerns around COVID-19, we've made the difficult decision to cancel the Woodland Hills School District Back to School Community Day event, which was scheduled for Saturday, August 22nd. Special thank you to everyone for your patience and understanding, and we look forward to seeing you all next year in person. We also have a new parent alert system. The school district has a new platform to share important information from the schools and the district. It's School Messenger. It allows us to communicate through email, text alerts, and phone calls. We can do emergency broadcasts, attendance alerts, and event reminders. So to sign up, it's free. Go to our website or go to schoolmessenger.com. And once you have an account, you can set your communication preferences for school calls, emails, texts, and other. So please just go to our website and you'll see the link for the new parent alert system. And the big one here, we will be opening schools on the 26th. However, we will be doing Chromebook distribution starting on the 17th. So if you go to our website, you will see our homepage. You will see the links for the school, high school, Dixon Preparatory, Wilkins, Edgewood, or Turtle Creek. Go click on the link. You could download a PDF. There's a calendar that shows the days of the week, and then distribution will be done by last names. So take a look at that, print it out. Every school's a little bit different on where the pickups are and the dates, but the the distribution is starting on the 17th, that Monday. So just take a look and make sure if you have any questions, just call the school and they can give you answers on where to go. But everything is on a one-pager that has the information that you will need to pick up your devices or other materials. Okay, that's all that I have.
Okay, one clarification, Mr. Harris. I believe you said school opens on the 26th. Am I correct? Back to the 24th. Okay.
24th.
Monday the 24th. That's
24th.
the day. Okay. Thank you. Board members, any other announcements?
I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing Mr. Harris's voice. It's a little fuzzy.
Let me see something here. Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Okay, I'll just talk louder.
That works.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
We do not have student speakers this evening, and I don't believe there are any presentations. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Registered speakers, I think we have,
We do have one, Dr. Conti. I haven't seen him.
I don't think he's on at this point. Okay.
Don't see him on.
I don't see him listed, so, okay. That will move us to board matters. Mr. Harris.
Is the board going to, for the seat? Or we're
Okay.
going to speak?
The board does have a vacancy at the moment that is on the agenda, and we should consider it tonight, given the timeline in school code. In light of that, is there a motion to move that at this point?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion to move 2.10 to consider that at this point. I believe there is one item of business that we need to do before we can consider that, however. Well, let's go with that. Is there any objection to moving I'm sorry, all in favor of moving the tab to the top of the agenda?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, hearing none. The way that we fill the vacancy is to take nominations, so I will open the floor for nominations to fill that vacancy. Is there anyone who wishes to make a nomination?
I'll nominate Andre Patterson.
Okay. Is there a second for Mr. Patterson's nomination?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion of the nomination? Okay. I will start discussion. Mr. Patterson, I believe, is in the boardroom, having completed an interview an hour and a half or so ago for the seat. Thank you very much for your interest and for sharing with us a little bit about your desire to serve the community, and your service in the military, your service as a probation officer, and your work with the district and the youth as an athletic coach in various capacities as well. So I was pleased to see that. It's my intention to support the nomination and to vote in favor of Mr. Patterson. And I look forward to working with you and to being and to having you as an asset to the district. Any other discussion?
I'll second your statements, Jamie. Just wanted to add in, this is a lot of hard work, a lot of volunteer hours, and I'm sure Mr. Patterson knows something about that, being active military. So looking forward to working with him as well.
Jamie, I have something to say.
Mr. Graves,
Yes.
please.
I want to thank Mr. Patterson for interviewing for the board. I think one of the things that I tend to be very protective over the district, and I just felt like I wish you had more experience in knowing our history and where we've been moving the last 3 or 4 years, and the fact that we just seemed like there was a lack of knowledge and in depth, and even the negative stuff you briefly talked about, but there wasn't much positive that you can add when we ask, what do you know about the district, or what do you know about what's been going on? So for that reason, I think my vote was going to be no.
Others?
I'm going to piggyback off of Mr. Graves and have to say I do appreciate your time and effort in interviewing, but there just wasn't enough knowledge on what Woodland Hills' future would look like and how it would, how implementing changes would be done. I didn't get that answer, so I'm going to have to vote no.
Other comments?
I just wanted to mention, I hear what my fellow board members are saying. I personally am impressed by the passion that Mr. Patterson shows for youth, especially at-risk youth. And while he might not be as familiar with the inner workings of our district, he certainly does seem connected to helping kids sort of achieve their best, both in athletics and in their lives through the work that he's dedicated himself to. And in some ways, I think it's kind of nice to have a fresh voice at the table who isn't as enmeshed with all of the goings on. So I plan to support Mr. Patterson and with a vote of yes.
Other comments?
Yeah, I actually agree. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm kind of going in and out. With what Marilyn said, I think your resume is very impressive, and we're here to support the kids, and I'd like to see you join us and come on board.
Okay. Anyone else?
I would have to agree with Ms. Scott and Ms. Curry.
Any other comments?
Well, just for protocol, because there's something else on here that we're supposed to technically do. Should we do that, or do we have to continue with the discussion?
We can table this and consider the other item and then untable if someone wishes to make that motion.
Which the motion to table and come back.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Motion to table by Ms. Seligson, second by Mr. Belmont. Any objection? I'm sorry. All in favor of tabling the motion?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Any objection? Okay. Hearing none. Is there a second motion to consider, Ms. Seligson?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to move up item 6.2 on the agenda so we can consider that motion.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Moved by Mr. Graves, second by Ms. Seligson. All in favor of moving up agenda item 6.2?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Is there a motion to consider? Is there a motion to consider the resignation of Andre Patterson for the junior varsity wrestling head coach effective this evening?
I make a motion to consider the resignation of Mr. Patterson for wrestling coach.
Is there a second?
Second.
Was that Ms.
Second.
Curry?
Yep.
Okay. Moved by Mr. Graves, second by Ms. Curry. Any questions or discussion on the motion on the resignation?
Jamie, you might want to explain what exactly happened just
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. I will do that. Mr. Patterson is currently employed by the district in a paid position as the junior varsity wrestling coach. In order for him to serve on the board, he has to resign that position, and that has to be approved by the board before he is eligible to fill the vacancy. So that's what we're doing right now. So, Ms. Hawthorne, unless there's further discussion, anyone on the board? Okay. Ms. Hawthorne, will you call the roll?
Mr. Graves,
Yes.
Ms. Seligson,
Yes.
Ms. Scott,
Yes.
Ms. Lawson,
Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Ms. Hodge,
Yes.
Ms. Strauss, Mr. Belmont,
Yes.
Ms. Glasser.
Yes. Okay. Is there a motion to untable 2.10?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Belmont, second by Ms. Seligson. The motion on the floor is 2.10. Any further discussion of that motion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Hawthorne, will you call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Graves?
No.
Ms. Ellickson?
Yes.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Lawson?
No.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
Ms. Hodge?
Yes.
Mr. Belmont?
Yes.
Ms. Glasser?
Yes. Motion carries 6-2. Mr. Patterson, congratulations. We look forward to working with you. We'll take a pause now so that Ms. Hawthorne can swear him in and he can take his seat.
Okay. All right.
If there's a way to get a camera on it, I think everyone would enjoy seeing it.
I got it.
Okay. Oh, well, who did the board? I really couldn't hear. Oh, you're on the board now, so you stop.
You made it.
All right, so I think there's a camera on here.
So all I'm gonna do is ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Wait, do I need the jacket on?
No, whatever you're comfortable in.
Too much at once. I think I got CTE. I'm not gonna remember that. Right. So I think this works.
Okay, well, first I'm gonna say congratulations. Welcome. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Andre Patterson,
I, Andre Patterson,
Having been appointed
having been appointed
to the office of school director
to the office of school director
for the school district of Woodland Hills,
for the school district of Woodland Hills,
County of Allegheny,
County of Allegheny,
and Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge
and that I will discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank
All right.
Social distancing. Hey. All right.
Can you please
Set up now.
Just so everyone's aware, I believe Mr. Harris and Ms. Hawthorne are getting Mr. Patterson situated at here in the boardroom, so that he can participate in the remainder of the meeting.
All right, we are set. Mr. Patterson is on. Hey, it's right there.
Okay, let's resume with board matters.
Okay, here we go. Board Matters 2.1, first and final reading of policy 006.1, volume 2, attendance at meetings with electronic communications.
Any questions on this one? We will vote on this next week as it deals with emergency communications during a crisis such as this. Okay. Hear none. 2.2.
Okay. 2.2, first reading of policy 103, volume 4, discrimination, Title 9, sexual harassment affecting students.
We have a pretty substantial echo, Mr. Harris. I don't know if there's something that needs to be moved there.
You all need to mute. I'm usually by myself. You got to mute your computers.
Mine is
Muted. All right, so let me take the one up there. But usually I'm by myself. Your sound, not your microphone. Your sound.
Sounds better.
Wait, how about that now?
Still sounds better.
Are we good, Steve? You're good? Okay, cool. Okay. Board Matters 2.2, first reading of policy 103, volume 4, discrimination, Title 9, sexual harassment affecting students. Questions?
Okay. Hearing none. 2.3.
2.3, Board Matters. First reading of policy 104, volume 4, discrimination, Title 9, sexual harassment affecting employees. Are there any questions?
Hearing none. 2.4.
Okay, Board Matters 2.4, first reading of policy 317.1, volume 4, educator misconduct. Questions?
Hearing none. 2.5.
Okay, Board Matters 2.5, first reading of policy 335, volume 2, family medical leaves. Any questions?
Hearing none. 2.6.
Okay, Board Matters 2.6, we seek approval of the 2020-2021 MOU, Memo of Understanding, between the Woodland Hills School District and the Churchill Borough Police Department. Are there any questions?
Any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Harris, can you clarify what that really means?
The MOU? It's the agreement that we have with the Churchill Borough at the high school that allows them access to our buildings and our working relationships. We have one with each of the communities that the schools are located in. This is not the police contract. This is an understanding that we have with all the community police departments. We have one with Turtle Creek and the other one, Edgewood, for their access to our buildings and what we do with them and how we report our incidents to them.
To be crystal clear, this is not putting an officer in the building.
No, it is not a police contract. It's the agreement that we do every year when we have to report out any instances that happen in the buildings to the police departments that are reportable.
And we are required to have this by state law, correct?
Yes.
One other thing, there is a standard MOU. This one, however, has been tweaked a little bit because in order to address both the alternative justice program that we have in place in the high school, and also to address a couple of things that can be strengthened to protect the students better. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Other questions? Hearing none. 2.7.
Board Matters 2.7, we seek permission to approve the second amended employment agreement between Woodland Hills School District and Mike Gigliotti. I guess any questions would have to go into executive session.
I think that's correct. It would probably be best to discuss this with the solicitor present next week, rather. If there are questions on this. Unless someone has something that's pressing right now, we can go into executive quickly. Okay, hearing none. 2.8.
2.8 Board Matters, we seek approval of the letter of intent from J. Michael Ruffeld Jr. to purchase tax parcel ID numbers 0541-A-00075-0000-00 and 0541-A-00075-0001-00, located and situated in Wilkins Township and the municipality of Penn Hills.
Is there a question? Okay. Hearing none. 2.9.
2.9 Board Matters. We seek approval to accept a $2,000 donation from the Mount Olive Baptist Church of Rankin to support the district technology.
Is there a motion? Or, sorry, is there any question? What was the genesis of this, Mr. Harris?
I had it earlier. There was a grant received, and the church group had to nominate or suggest an organization to donate it to, and they chose Woodland Hills.
Wonderful.
When we have the next meeting, I'll have the folks involved with it as much as I can involved online to talk about why they chose us and just to give them thanks in person or thanks on through a Zoom.
Publicly. Publicly, we can.
Publicly, yes.
Yeah, super. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Hearing none, and having already addressed 2.10, we'll move to curriculum, section 3.
Okay, curriculum 3.1. We seek approval of the school improvement plans for Edgewood STEAM Academy, Turtle Creek STEAM Academy, and Dixon STEAM Academy. Are there any questions?
Hearing none. 3.2.
Okay, 3.2, we seek permission to enter into a partnership with the AIU3 Overdrive Consortium to offer ebooks and audiobooks to all Woodland Hills School District scholars. Are there any questions?
Can we talk a little bit about what this will do?
Sure. This is, to be basic, it's an online library where students can access reading material, novels, books, whatever they want for a fee. We pay 55 cents per student, and it's thousands of books that are available online that they can read from home.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none. 3.3.
3.3, we seek permission to enter into a free memorandum of understanding with the Consortium for Public Education to offer Future Readiness Lab to 5 to 7 of our high school students. Any questions?
Hearing none. 3.4.
3.4, we seek approval of the Woodland Hills School District 2020-2021 Flexible Instructional Days application to submit to PDE. Are there any questions? Basically, to make it simple, this is in lieu of, remember back in the olden days when we had snow days? Well, this is to replace our snow days. So we have 5 days that if we were in school and we had a snow day, those days we would have work that teachers would prepare, students would have at home, and it would count as a day, thus a flexible instructional day. We were getting ready for this before the shutdown. That's one of the reasons why we were really ahead of most places when we were starting our online instruction, because we were looking at how we could do online home instruction prior to the COVID shutdown. So this was what the state was offering prior to the shutdown of flexible instructional days. We call them FID days. And so we would have those days in lieu of canceling school and having a snow day. So we would still have student-teacher engagement when or if students would not be physically in the building.
Okay. Any questions from members? Okay. Hearing none. Section 6.
Okay, Section 6, Personnel. Here we go. Section A, authorization for leaves. Section B, authorization for retirement/resignation. Section C, authorization to hire professional staff. Section D, authorization to hire non-professional staff. Section F, authorization for EDR/mentor actions. Section G, authorization for miscellaneous. Any questions would have to be in executive session.
Any need for executive? Okay, hearing none. I believe we already addressed 6.2. So 6.3.
Okay, 6.3 personnel. We seek approval of the MOU between the Woodland Hills School District and the Woodland Hills Educational Support Professionals Association. Are there any questions?
Hearing none. 6.4.
6.4, we seek approval to ratify payment of $1,000 each to two tech coaches, Jason Coleman and Justin Rodriguez, for their assistance in organizing summer credit and credit recovery. Are there any questions?
Okay. Hearing none. Section 7.
Technology, 7.1. This item, we are asking if we could have a vote on it this evening, because it's part of the device distribution process that we have in place. It's the parent-student receipt letter that we have that will go along with students or families taking the device. So 7.1, motion to approve the district's parent-student laptop agreement for the 2021 school year.
Is there a motion?
There is an attachment that you can view.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Belmont, second by Ms. Seligson. Any questions or discussion on this? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Hawthorne, will you call the roll?
Mr. Graves?
Yes.
Ms. Seligson?
Yes.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
I turned mine back on.
Ms. Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
Ms. Hodge?
Yes.
Mr. Patterson?
I can abstain at this point. I haven't seen those
You
forms.
can abstain.
Okay,
I abstain.
all right. Mr. Belmont?
Yes.
Ms. Glasser?
Yes. Motion carries 8-0 with one abstention. That moves us to section 9, food service and transportation. 9.1.
Okay, 9.1, we seek approval of the 2021 bus driver list. See attachments.
Mr. Harris, that echoes back.
Oh, you guys got it. Is it still there?
Nope, that's better. Thank you.
Okay. I'll read it again. 9.1, we seek approval of the 2020-2021 bus driver list. Attachments are there. Any questions?
All right. Any questions? 9.2.
Okay, 9.2, we seek approval of the 2020-2021 school bus stops. question.
Okay. I have a question on this. Ms. Nicolo, as a point of education, will the district be issuing guidance for standing bus stops, distancing, for those kinds of practices to be happen, and how that should happen at bus stops so there's not a lot of congregating?
I am updating our section of the website next week with comments on that. You know, basically saying non-congregating. A lot of schools are not going back on a full schedule, so the number of students at each stop should be reduced as well. But that will be included in the guidance on our website.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
And I have a question. Sorry. Let me turn this on. I may have missed this on committee, but for the special needs runs, what's the plan to make sure those kiddos are separated? Because they tend to be smaller runs to begin with, but the buses are usually pretty crowded.
Right, we have gone through most of our buses and made sure that there were not too many students on each run. We were able to move some students to different buses, and we also are still getting notification from a number of the schools about students being either online or non-transported, doing a hybrid. So we are paying attention to what is going on with each school. But each school is different, and they are providing updates daily.
Do we have enough money in the budget, say if, because I know a lot of the special needs schools want to go back at full capacity, will we have money enough to add, say, a second bus to a particular school, just to make sure that separation is happening?
We will reallocate buses as best we can. We really do not have additional funds, but we will reallocate how we can with the vehicles that we do have to make sure that there is as much distance on the bus as possible with the special needs students. And if nothing else, the most that there will be is, one student per seat.
Thanks.
Is the limit on that the financial piece, or is it drivers, vehicles, combination of all?
Combination.
It is both. I mean, we are limited financially in that we do not have we've never had excess funds in transportation. And there is also, I am getting updates daily from the garages regarding drivers. As I had stated in the committee meetings last week, they're having their welcome back meetings. And I just got a report about 5 minutes ago about 3 drivers who have elected to not return from one of the garages that's known. So we're starting out at a deficit of drivers. And as I indicated at that committee meeting as well, getting new drivers on board was slowed down due to PennDOT being closed for permitting and testing. It is reopened now, but that whole process takes some time, and getting new people onboarded, takes a good 2 months at least.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or discussion?
I have a quick question. Are we going to be sending out the letters with the bus stops ahead of the start of school, or is that going to wait at least the 30 days and be ahead of when we start the AB schedule?
We are, for our own students, we will probably wait to send out those letters so that we can have a better idea of exactly how many drivers and buses we do have available, because we may need to route a number of buses and reallocate. So I don't want to send out letters that have misinformation on them. And since we have a few weeks before we would have to send our letters out, we're just concentrating on getting the letters out to the schools that are starting either full-time or partial in-person schooling, so that they can get their information this coming week, well, actually next week, so that they are prepared for the beginning of school.
Other questions?
Did that answer you?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Other questions? Okay. Hearing none. 10.1.
Okay, buildings and grounds. 10.1, we seek ratification for the disposal of surplus furniture from the high school 100 hallway, 900 hallway, and the administration office. Are there any questions?
Okay. Hearing none. 10.2.
10.2, we seek approval to surplus classroom desks and furniture from the intermediate school. Are there any questions?
I will ask the question, Mr. Harris, Mr. Finney, is the intention to offer an opportunity for families to potentially take these off of our hands in lieu of throwing them out?
Yes, there were a number of inquiries of folks who wanted real live student chairs and desks for their at-home learning. So Bob, we'll post something online and set up some dates and times and pick out the best pieces that if families would like to come pick them up, they could have a little classroom at their home.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question, Jane.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, Ms. Glasser. Can we make sure this is done in an orderly, responsible, social distancing manner? Because last time this was done, it was not a really good experience for the district.
Yes.
Totally agree.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I didn't hear a word David said.
What he said was he asked that the distribution be handled in a socially distant, organized, responsible fashion, so that we don't have a repeat of the last time we did a distribution of this kind.
Thanks.
Yeah.
10.3, we seek approval to dispose of surplus classroom and office furniture from the Rankin building. Same thing.
Okay. Questions or discussion? Okay. Hearing none. 10.4.
Okay, 10.4, we seek approval for sideline tree service to remove one maple tree and one pine oak tree from Edgewood Theme Academy at a low bid of $7,150 from General Fund 10. There are photos attached.
Okay. Questions or discussion on this? Okay. Hearing none. 10.5.
10.5, we seek approval for Bethlehem Wire and Fence to install a new 4-foot-high double swing gate at the rear of Wilkins Elementary STEAM Academy, and to make necessary repairs to gates and repair the railing in the back of the building at a cost of $3,594 from General Fund 10. Are there any questions?
Hearing none. 10.6.
10.6, we seek approval of the SiteLogic pre-construction management services agreement for the Carnegie Free Library of Swissville renovation project totaling $29,000 from Capital Projects Fund 39, pending solicitor review and approval. Are there any questions?
Questions? Okay. Hearing none. 10.7.
10.7, we seek approval for JB Seal Coating to provide service at Dixon Preparatory STEAM Academy rear parking lot, provided at a low bid of $4,500 from General Fund 10. Are there any questions?
Okay.
And just to be clear, this is not a resurfacing, this is a patching of the line.
Okay. Hearing no questions. 10.8.
Okay, 10.8, we seek approval of outside organizations to utilize district facilities.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
I have a question about that. I thought in light of the COVID crisis, we were discontinuing the outside agencies utilizing our facilities.
It's going to be at our discretion on a day-to-day basis or week-to-week basis or month-to-month basis. Anything could change at any given time. And I've already been in communication with everybody that's on the list.
Okay, thanks.
So in light of that, I see that we have indoor and outdoor spaces here. The indoor don't start until September, so we can, evaluate when we get closer to that. Are we revisiting the use of the pool at all? Because I know we had talked about the use of the pool for swimming lessons and things of that nature.
Well, again, I think that's all part of it. Any outsiders, I would think we should not allow anybody come in, except for our own kids at this point in time, unless the state changes that as well.
Okay, but several of the groups that are here are not our organizations. We have the youth soccer and we have Metro basketball, which are a lot of our kids, but they're sort of similar to the aquatic team that has been told that there's not going to be swim lessons at this point. So I guess my question is, how do these differ from the swimming group?
Again, we could add the pool on there, but it's going to be day to day, week to week, or month to month, unless somebody wants to direct me differently.
Okay, I mean, I think it's worth if we're in a place where we're going to open this up to, and obviously we're not voting tonight, so we have a week to deliberate on it. But if we're going to be opening it back up, I think we owe it to the aquatic team to revisit it with them as well. Because when we last were there and last talked about that, it was a no rental situation at all. And I think if we're opening back up, we have an obligation to go back to them.
I agree, Jamie.
Agree.
And Ms. Blaster, can I say something?
Yes, Mr. Graves.
When did this open back up? I was not even aware. I mean, people have been asking me, and I've been telling them no. But I didn't.
We're going to have to discuss this. This should not be on the agenda. I don't know when this was put on, but this should not be on the agenda. And I'm going to say it bluntly, okay? We are not opening up facility rentals because we shut everything down. So Bob and I will have a discussion offline to discuss the facility rentals. This should not be on the agenda tonight. This is a mistake. It's my fault. I should have caught it. We went through this. This should not be on the agenda tonight. Simple as that. We are not opening up our facility rentals right now. We discussed it. It was determined. This should not be on the agenda tonight. We went through this a couple of times. I don't know when this was put on. I may have missed it, so it's my fault. But we are not opening up facility rentals.
Okay, thank you.
We'll discuss this.
Okay. Very good. And that will move us along to athletics.
Athletics, 11.1. We seek approval of the quote from Natalie Sporting Goods for a pair of quick goal premier competition goals at a cost of $9,310 from Capital Project Fund 39. Are there any questions?
Hearing none, school finance.
School Finance. 14.1, we seek ratification of the bill list for invoices paid after July 15th, 2020 legislative meeting. Are there any questions?
Okay. Hearing none. 14.2.
14.2, we seek approval of the August 2020 bill list. Are there any questions?
Okay. Hearing none. 14.3.
Okay, 14.3, we seek the acceptance of the July 2020 fund reports and student activity reports for informational purposes. Are there any questions?
Okay. Hearing none.
14.4, we seek approval of the investment reports for July 2020. Are there any questions?
Okay. Hearing none. 14.5.
Okay, 14.5, we seek approval of the 2020-2021 interscholastic athletic accident insurance, $9,550, and the K through 12 voluntary student accident insurance through Dinnan and Parkins Associates, Inc. Are there any questions?
Hearing none. Section 15.
Okay, 15, Superintendent. 15.1, we seek approval of the Duquesne Light right-of-way agreement regarding a small portion of parcel 302-E-250. Are there any questions?
Hearing none. Is there any old business? Any new business? Do we have any reports? Okay. That moves us to public comment.
I have a question though, James. Real
Yeah,
quick.
Chris. Yep.
Why don't we just had a committee meeting? Why don't we have any reports?
I was going to ask that question offline as well.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. You're good to ask it. You're good to ask it now. Mr. Harris, do we have notes from the committee meetings last week?
We haven't received any notes from any committees. So
Okay.
we can have it on the next agenda.
Let's have them on for next week. A reminder, we have moved our committee meetings closer to the agenda meeting, but a reminder to the administrators that we should still report out from committees at the agenda meeting each month. So we'd appreciate having notes, and if board members can be helpful with that, please let us know. Committee chairs can help with notes as well. Okay. Any reports from outside organizations or the like?
I'm looking to see Dr. Conti's not on, so maybe he'll speak at the next board meeting.
Okay. But we are at public comment. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board? Please use the raise hand function in Zoom if you're able to do that. Okay, I'm going to give it just a couple more seconds in case there's anyone who wishes to speak. Okay. Seeing no one raising a hand, that'll move us to adjournment. Mr. Harris.
Okay, 20.1, we seek permission to adjourn the August 12th, 2020 agenda setting meeting.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Sellers.
Hello?
Moved by Ms. Seligson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hodge. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you all. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Patterson.
Congratulations.
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 Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Take good care, everyone.
Good night.
Be safe, everyone.